Hello, readers. I'm so excited to have you in 6th grade language arts. Let's take a look around. As you can see on the landing page, here are some pictures of me and my family. I'm excited to get to know you more this semester as well. If you scroll down, you'll see a link to my appointment calendar. This is where you can select a specific time for one-on-one help. And then if you scroll down, you're going to see all the folders for this semester. There's the Welcome folder, the Getting Started folder, Writer's Workshop resources, a folder for each of the 3 modules, and then a folder that contains information about your collaboration project that you'll do by the end of the semester. And you'll get lots of information about that as we go throughout the semester. Getting Started is a great folder to start with so that you can better understand how to navigate through the lessons, and then also learning a little bit about the importance of academic integrity. The Writer's Workshop folder provides lots of resources for you that you're going to use throughout the entire semester. So I hope that you'll revisit some of these topics and click on the link and learn more about what the course is offering as far as bettering your skills of using transitions or sentence structure, or how do I create a works cited page. These resources are always here for you, and I'm going to add some videos to this folder as well. And then your first module is Heroes in Our Midst. If you click this little arrow, you open up the module, and you're going to work from top to bottom, meaning that you can't move on to something that's down at the bottom until you've completed the item above it. When you see a document that's blank, that's a lesson. The document that has the lines, checks, and squares is a quiz. And then if you see a little play icon, that's a video. And then if you see a document that has lines and like a rectangle in the middle, then that's where you're going to submit work from your Google Drive. Each lesson is going to have either a quiz or a submitted assignment that goes along with it. The module starts off with a pretest. The pretest is not going to impact your grade. It's just an awesome opportunity for you to show me what skills you're bringing to the lesson and for you to get a preview of what you're going to learn. The first lesson that you'll do in this module is develop an idea. As you can see, this lesson has 14 slides. You're going to take notes on these slides as you go through. So it will be helpful for you to have some kind of binder or a notebook where you can keep all of your language arts notes organized. On the first slide, you're always going to have a sneak preview of what is going along with this lesson, whether it be a quiz or a submitted assignment. So it tells you here, you're going to take a quiz at the end of this lesson. So you'll go through all the slides before you move on to take your quiz. Be sure that when you're ready to take the quiz that you have enough time to complete the entire quiz. If you're halfway through the quiz and you click out of the quiz for some reason, because maybe all of a sudden you have to go somewhere, then it's going to submit your quiz with the answers that you didn't finish as 0. So you want to make sure that you can complete the whole quiz and do your very best work before you sit down to start the quiz. Keep in mind that you do have additional attempts at quizzes, but they're not automatic. You have to meet with me or submit work to show that you've gone back to review the information. So you really want to be prepared the first time you sit down to take a quiz. So you'll see the next lesson, What is Theme, has a quiz that goes with it. The lesson after that, A Character Changes, has a video to help and then a quiz. Summarize It is going to be the first lesson that actually has a submitted assignment that goes with it. So this means I'm going to be typing something in a Google document and submitting it for this assignment. So if you go to the lesson Summarize It, the first slide is going to have a sneak preview that tells you exactly what's going to be expected on this submitted assignment. So always click on it. That way, when you're navigating through the lesson, you'll have in mind what you're going to do with the new skills that you're learning. Always, always pay close attention to the grading rubric. Anything that's a different color, you want to click on it. It's a link, and this specific link takes you to the rubric. And I always say that the rubric is a roadmap to getting all your points for the assignment. It tells you very clearly how I'm going to grade. So I'm going to be giving you points for the title, for the author, for the theme being stated, for all the story elements, and always in language arts that you used correct grammar, punctuation, and spelling. So that doesn't mean it has to be perfect, but it does mean that you've gone back and you have reviewed your work and you've really tried to make sure that you've paid close attention to these components as well. Underneath the rubric, it says select the worksheet. You want to make sure you select it because this is where the reading is that you will be summarizing. So a lot of students get confused and think they're actually doing something that they read in the lesson, but they're going to give you a different reading excerpt to use for your assignment, and usually it's going to be in the directions. So if I click on worksheet, the story The Meek comes up, and this is the story that I'm going to be summarizing. And it has additional directions on the worksheet as well. So sometimes students like to copy a portion of the worksheet. Like you can copy this portion by hitting Control-C, and then you can put it in your Google document, and that will help to guide you for what you need to make sure that you include. So going back to the organization, the rest of the module has other submitted assignments like this lesson, compare different mediums. You have a submitted assignment. What does it mean? You have a lesson and a quiz, a lesson and an assignment, lesson, video, quiz, lesson, quiz, lesson, video, submitted assignment. So for these submitted assignments, you are going to go through the lesson like for summarize it, and then when you click on the actual document, it gives you the option of uploading your work. So for this one, I already entered a grade in, so you can't really see, but there's a plus sign right here. You're going to click on that plus sign, and it says select or choose Google document. So you're going to always upload from Google into this space. And that allows me to comment directly on your Google document and give you lots of really great and very specific feedback that you're going to find helpful, especially if you want to redo any of your work to get additional points. So as you go down, you'll notice that you have a DBA or discussion-based assessment. The directions for the DBA are in this lesson. And just know this is where you need to make an appointment with me. So you need to go to my appointment calendar, select a time, and you might want to do this when you're starting to get close to the DBA time. You're going to select a time, and we're just going to talk about the concepts that you learned in the module. So you really want to make sure you have good notes that you can kind of have to support you when you're explaining these concepts to me. Just know that in this lesson, it's going to give you a module concept guide. But I'm not going to ask all these questions exactly like they are stated on these slides, but this gives you a guide. I'm also going to ask you to give me examples. So don't just memorize what's on these cards. This is a good start. If you read something that's on these cards and you don't understand it, then you know you need to go back to the lesson and develop a deeper understanding and maybe get a few examples so that you can talk about it. Practice talking about these concepts with someone. A part of language arts is your speaking ability, your ability to listen and speak and have a discussion with someone. So you want to make sure you're prepared to do that when it's time for the discussion-based assessment. But also, don't be nervous because we're just having a conversation. Then lastly, you'll end the module with the module exam. Once you've finished module 1, then you'll go on to module 2. If you want to check and see where you are in the semester and your assignments that need to be submitted, it's always great to look at grades. I say look at grades before you start in that course every day. So when you go to grades, you're going to see due dates. Those due dates are flexible, meaning that if it says August 10th, it just means sometime in that week of August 10th. So it doesn't necessarily have to be on that day, but by the end of that week, you should have this completed. So it has all of the different quizzes and assignments that we just looked at in the module. It has them in your grades. And for this specific one, I wanted to show you. if I entered these grades for this demo student, but as you can see, there's a little square here that's like a dialog box, and that lets you know that I've left you feedback. So you always want to click on that and see what your scores on the rubric were. So this matches that rubric that you looked at for this assignment. And wherever you have lost points, you need to go back to the rubric. Did I support the theme in my writing? And then oftentimes you're going to see down at the bottom, I write out specific feedback and I might record a video for you. So always listen to the video. Sometimes it's just audio. So always listen to the audio. It's going to be very clear what maybe additional work you need to do to get your points. And you have the opportunity to do that. So I always like to see that growth and that improvement. I hope you found this navigation video helpful. And as always, reach out to me if you have any questions.